Let's see. What up? It's your girl, Shay, aka Melanated Dope. Come on in the room. Pull up on your girl. Hi, happy Mercury Day. Rich Risings. Okay? Rich Risings. I'm going to say it again. Rich Risings. I've been seeing a lot of discourse behind people who choose to say alternative uh, readings in the morning, and I just want to tell y'all, like, English is a spell. I made a post on the Blue app, but I gotta tell y'all again, English is a freaking spell. It was a language that they created. Like, y'all, I want y'all to pick up books that talk about linguistics, but that's not by them. Okay, find us, find others. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't do nothing but lie, steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, that's it. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of what words mean in language and English was created for. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do it one day though, but today is not the day. But y'all, let's get it. Before we get into this book, baby, get into this melanin. I just be admiring myself on this camera. I got a new phone. I really battled on the inside in getting this phone, because there are multiple genocides happening in the continent of Africa, but one in particular that stands out is the one that is being waged on the people of the Congo, and I want to say the Sudan as well, but I know the Congo for a fact has the largest deposits of coltan, which powers these smart devices and smart cars, and people are living below poverty. Like, they're basically enslaved. They're not being paid, and whatever they are being paid is not allowing them to have, good living. But anyway, so yeah, but I'm so glad I got it because I don't have to. That laptop, the camera on the laptop just really sucked. I couldn't get over it. I do not like it. I really want to go back through all of my YouTube channel and just delete all those videos because, yeah, the camera sucked on that one. So hopefully, in using the iPhone and the iPad, it's gonna be better. But yeah, we have to raise more awareness of what is going on in all of these countries. Like, I got the 15. I refuse to get the 16. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, like, they just regurgitate. It's the same phone over and over again. Especially with Apple, they might upgrade like one thing, but it don't be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too serious or major. But anyway, that's not what you're here for. You are here to join in the reading of the book of Juju by Juju Bae. You can go follow her on all platforms at It's Juju Bae, ITSJUJUBAE. Okay? Yes. And then go, if you're on Instagram, the link is in her bio where you can go and get her book, and you can go follow her podcast, a little Juju podcast. What I really love about this book is that it's really like legit, like as we've been reading through it, because I told y'all I hadn't read it yet. I you know what I'm saying? Well, I had started reading it, and I was just like, nope, I want to read this to everybody. So anyway, so as I'm reading it to y'all, this is my first experience. However, mostly everything we talked about, I've read to y'all, she talks about on her podcast. So it behooves you to go listen to the podcast and start at the very beginning. We're talking about 2017. Go listen to the podcast and then also read the book for yourselves. But if you are tapping into this live and or catching the playback, I love and appreciate you. Okay? All right, so let's get into it. Chapter 8, Shared Values. This is all about the ancestors and ancestral veneration, how to connect the things that we can connect to our dead people on. Shared values. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, also, my son brought my glasses, so I may have to. But I know if I do this, y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me. So let me see. Can I lean over without putting my whole titty in y'all face? Anyway, all right. So shared values. To fully embrace ancestral spiritual systems, one must remember ancient ancestral ways of being, thinking, and understanding the natural world. And while African spiritual systems include a variety of diverse cosmological understandings, there are shared beliefs that repeat values that tie them together. Developing a foundation of understanding in these old ways can help recenter our current beliefs and help us understand the connection between the natural world and human existence, both past and present. Veneration of nature. First, note that nature is a key aspect in spiritual connection and healing throughout so many ATRs and ADRs. Many are nature-based practices, which means that they teach that the natural world is significant for all living things, including humans. Conceptually, this makes sense. If the earth is not functioning at its full potential, neither can we. Access to clean water, air, and land impacts our quality of life and can even determine how long we can live. Without these resources, nothing else can matter in our lives. Therefore, nature is the source that we need to fulfill our destinies. Indigenous Africans understood this dynamic, initiating rituals to honor the natural world through deification and designating parts of the natural world as deities with godlike powers. Humans were meant to appease nature, bringing favor to the people in their community by taking care of those deities and therefore the energies they are meant to represent. For example, Oshun is a river deity found in the Yoruba pantheon, and Sobo is the Haitian Vodou Lao. I think it's Loa. I'm gonna get it together. Spirit of thunder and tremors in the sky. Yes, one may honor the shrine of these particular spirits, but caring for the land, not littering the rivers, salvaging our water sources, and respecting storms is honoring our ancestors, thus honoring the natural world. The deification of nature has been a tool used to make sense of its power, yet the power of nature must be respected, deity or not, as the constant disrespect of the earth has been leading to land and water crises around the globe. Yes, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes. Okay, I feel like the I think an earthquake is what causes a tsunami, right? And I feel like if they would stop drilling into the earth, the earthquakes wouldn't happen and then the tsunamis wouldn't happen. Okay? However, there's neither here nor there. Where we at? Plant medicine. In addition to venerating the broader powers of the natural world, many ATRs and ADRs include a belief that plants and roots are highly significant. Leaves, trees, vegetables, fruits, and herbs are all understood as medicinal and healing. Each plant has specific properties that vary depending on the spiritual system, and each can be channeled and used for healing or harming by the practitioner. To delve deeper into this idea, root is a common term in the African American healing tradition. Roots are the foundation of the plant, found under the earth as an anchor that grounds the plant into the soil. Therefore, roots are understood to be the most spiritually and medicinally potent part of the plant in African American culture, as they are the most unadulterated part of the organism. If a root of a plant, if a root of a plant is used in spiritual work, it is understood to add more potency to that work. Like, I'm hearing bloodroot. Yes, bloodroot is really good for when you want to connect your family ties. Like, say you were doing something to sweeten up your household, or even the entirety of your family, immediate family, whatever. So you do like a honey or sweetening jar, and you add that bloodroot so that and speak all of their names, all the family's name over it. Okay, and it enhances it and ties it all together, but not like binding. However, it's all right now. It's all semantics. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta be intentional. Okay, so just make sure. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Root is also used colloquially to refer to the act of using juju to spiritually harm or control another person. An example of this could be, John's been acting weird lately and has had a lot of unfortunate events happen to him. I think somebody put a root on him. It was really funny, as I'm sorry, I'm hearing, I hear movement. I'm like, yeah. But anyway, as that last thing that I just said, an example of this could be, John's been acting weird lately and has a lot of unfortunate events happen to him, and I think somebody put a root on him. Y'all probably wouldn't be surprised, but you cannot imagine how many people come to me saying they feel like somebody put some roots on them, and really it just be themselves tripping up. Very rarely is it actually some roots. Like, I had 2 clients that when I divined on it, Spirit said yes, somebody's actively working against them. Okay? But 9 times out of 10, y'all, let me tell y'all, a lot of your misfortune and the bullshit that's happening in your life is because you are out of alignment. Okay? So get your house in order. Yes. However, if you feel like somebody got roots on you, get a divination. Duality. For many African scholars, including within the traditional Yoruba belief system, duality is an aspect of all life that cannot be avoided. God, the universe, ancestors, and all mirrors of life can exist because of their polar opposites. Up, down, hot, cold, good, bad, all need their converse in order to work. That being said, there's hardly anything resembling a devil or hell in a sub-Saharan African context. In fact, the devil as a concept was introduced to ancient Africans largely through European and Arab colonization. I always say colonialism, but colonization. Concepts of an all-knowing and powerful creator or God force do exist, but the difference in these traditions is that if God is all, then God must include all good and bad. The only way that a devil could exist based on an ancient African worldview would be if God were all things positive, love, and light. And God is inclusive of that, but not only that. Due to the all-encompassing dualistic nature of God or the Creator, the concept of an opposing evil force isn't necessary. It doesn't exist like in the Christian pantheon because nothing is separate. Okay? You hear that? In ATRs, ADRs, there's no such thing as good and evil. Like, the Creator created everything. Okay? That's the trick. Like, that's why they gave us Christianity. It's all about mind control. Whereas ATRs and ADRs give you a lot of freedom to be you. However, there are, you know what I'm saying, Odu's and I don't want to say rules, but there are the parables and the proverbs as ways of being in alignment with your higher self, with God, creation, the earth. Okay. Of course, there are forces that can be disruptive and cause difficulty in our ability to live an easeful life. However, the presence of these forces doesn't equate to an all bad antagonistic demon whose main goal in life is to turn people to sin. Sometimes it's our own ancestors who may be confusing us, causing discord, or who are traumatized and need our healing. Yep, that duality again. This was a huge reset for me, as I realized I hadn't considered how much Satan and the idea of going to hell had affected me throughout my life after being drilled into me as a child. I no longer accept the concepts in my current worldview that and that helps me take more ownership of my own wrongdoings and relax. Because ain't no hell to go to when I die, which is nice. Community. You may have heard the African proverb, it takes a village, in reference to raising a child or engaging in other difficult tasks. Where's my bottle of water? Oh, now my stomach is rolling. I'm surprised y'all can't hear it. Starting over. Community. You may have heard the African proverb, it takes a village, in reference to raising a child or engaging in other difficult tasks. This phrase highlights the importance of community. Community is such an important part of embracing ancestral religions and practices. Traditionally, communities would come together to venerate ancestors and other deities. The success of any individual will reflect on the success of the community as a whole. Communities are not simply people we are around or who have similar traits to ours. A community is a group of people who have shared goals and visions. A community consists of fellowshipping and sharing so that a common goal can be reached. A great example of this can be found in Sobonfu Some's book, The Spirit of Intimacy. Which I have right here. Okay? I will be reading this, probably not next, but I'll be reading that book to y'all. I definitely will. Because Sobonfu Some contextualizes, is that the right word? She puts like the concept, the African concept of community and how it's all connected to spirit and how you're. It's a beautiful book. Anyway, let's continue on. I just want to show y'all that I indeed have that book. Have read that book. I had to buy another one because I left my copy in Detroit. So, and I don't know when I'm going back up there to get it. So I was like, nope, gonna buy it. Anyway, it's on Amazon. Go get it. Where was I? Sobonfu Some. Here she highlights rituals practiced by traditional Dagara tribes, which were meant to address conflicts between a married couple within that tribe. In the Dagara, the couple was not responsible for sorting out their own issues, which instead became the business of the community, who intervened with the proper tools, prayers, and rituals. If someone were to attend a wedding in this West African tribe, they would refer to the wedding as our wedding rather than by the names of the two people actually getting married. See, it truly takes a community, and that does not stop because a child grows up. But that child will need the village forever. You know what I'm saying? It's a very African concept that we have been snatched away from, okay? And we need to get back to it. These examples highlight the importance of the people that we are surrounded by and how their relationships with each other as well as with spirit impact everyone's favorability with the spirits. I find this to be one of the more difficult tools to utilize in the West, as we are constantly engaging with media that underlines individualism as the sole key to success. We also may struggle to connect to others who do not have our same viewpoints and spiritual beliefs, which leads us to a spiritual practice of solitude and even loneliness, which will be addressed later in this book. The, proper, the popularized Nguni Bantu term Ubuntu, which translates loosely as I am because we are, can be applied to how we understand our ancestors and their importance to us both as individuals and in the context of the group or family. As the proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Taboo. Taboos are something that are very prevalent in my practice of Orisha tradition and Ifa, but they are also relevant in many African and diasporic spiritual systems and practices. Taboos are specific behaviors that have been deemed spiritually harmful. A taboo harms your spiritual growth and can bring despair to your life if you partake in that activity. They can range from very serious to virtually harmless. Yet adhering to taboos is important for aligning with what you are with what your soul needs in order to have its best experience on this plane. Taboos can range from colors that are not good for you to wear to foods that you should refrain from eating. Some people have taboos against being out too late, which protects them from ending up in serious trouble. Some people are not allowed to drink too much because they have a taboo against getting drunk for safety reasons, while another friend in the same religion may be allowed to get as drunk as they want. There may be some general taboos depending on the spiritual tradition, but often taboos are unique to the individual. Y'all give me a second. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Where were we? There may be some general taboos depending on the spiritual tradition, but often taboos are unique to the individual. I may not share a taboo with my friend who is in the same religion as I am, because our spirits are on different paths. I had to learn early that taboos are not punishments, nor are they in place so that you are able to enjoy the good things in life. It is quite the opposite. Taboos are in place so that we can enjoy our lives to the fullest in the safest way possible. Our ancestors want us to enjoy the good, pleasurable things, and taboos can create discord in our lives that don't allow us to enjoy life's pleasures. Someone may have a taboo not wearing red clothes, while someone else may have a taboo of not cursing for 16 days. I remember speaking to a priest friend who had a taboo of eating fish. He went out to a seafood restaurant with friends and decided to break the taboo one time so he could enjoy all the fish that he wanted, figuring it was no big deal. Unfortunately, that restaurant was not up to code, and the entire table ended up with food poisoning. Sometimes taboos are extremely serious, while at other times your spirits are trying to protect you from a tummy ache. Divination. I have to go get that. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Divination divination is a systemic practice used to foresee future events or uncover meanings and or hidden knowledge through the use of the supernatural powers or a specific tool. Divination is as old as time and has been used throughout history to understand both the physical and unseen worlds. If you've ever seen someone pull tarot cards to decide if it's a good idea to remain in a relationship, you've witnessed a divination. Think of divination as a mouthpiece for the spirits. I am a huge proponent of African divining specifically because it gives the querent very clear and direct answers in order to avoid future problems. I can personally attest to how divination has saved me from bad business deals and unfavorable relationships, and has even saved my life. Some common tools that are used in many African and diasporic communities are seashells, bones, animal parts, coconut shells, cola nuts, rocks, playing or tarot cards, dice, and other fairly accessible elements. Most practitioners within African systems rely on divination to consult ancestors and other oracles in order to get their advice. Through divination, we can best align ourselves with the most favorable outcomes and receive prescriptions from our spirits. Going to see the diviner is like going to a doctor. They will see what the issue is and use their method of choice to communicate with the oracle. The oracle will state a response and give the client an answer. And the skilled diviner can interpret the message based on their specific methodology. There are a lot of ways to divine, and many forms of divination are rooted in mathematical sciences of probability. Divination does not necessarily involve going to a psychic. One does not have to have a ton of connection to their spiritual senses to receive this information. Again, divination is a methodological, way of querying the spirits and must be interpreted by a skilled practitioner. Okay, skilled. It doesn't rely on the practitioner's spiritual gifts as much as it is their ability to understand the tools that they are using to commune. Some forms of divination are extremely complex, while others can be used by a novice in order to get simple yes or no questions answered. I will share with you a very basic form of divination and how it can work for you. This probability method was taught to me within a Hoodoo context, but it has been used in traditions across Africa, Europe, and Asia. Okay, and so the divination method that she shares in the book is coin divination. Okay, we will. I was gonna say I can read through it real quick. I'll be trying to get through the meaty stuff. You know. Let's see how many more pages we got. It's shared back. Oh, it's not. It's not bad. And what time is it? Oh, it's just 10 o'clock. Yeah. So let's read coin divination activity. Do I got 3 pennies laying around? I always got pennies laying around. Do I not? Oh, look at me. I dropped it. Is there tape on this penny? Yes, there is. There's one. Where's the third one? Okay. We did. I'm gonna clean these keys real quick. All right. I just sprayed a little Florida water over this. Let's get into it. Right. So, what you will need: 3 coins of the same type. I like to use $3 coins, but you can use whatever coins you have, such as 3 pennies or 3 quarters. A cleansing agent such as water or incense, Florida water, or a smudging wine can work too. And I always have Florida water. Okay, this is the store-bought Florida water, but yeah, I have my own. All right. So, step 1: before anything, you must cleanse your divination tool. The coins you are using have most likely never been used to divine before, so you need to rid them of all other energy that might be attached to them so that they are more effective as divination tools. Cleanse your coins with your water or with smoke from your smudging wine and set your intention that the coins are blessed and will be used to commune with your honorable ancestors who align in your best interest. Step 2: now that the coins have been cleansed, hold them in your hands and say a prayer. Ask that your honorable ancestors speak through the coins. Ask that your honorable ancestors speak through the coins. Explain that these coins will only be used for divining and let them always speak to you a clear truth. Step 3: your coins are now blessed and clean. Next, I would explain to my ancestors the meaning behind the coins. This is very important. Next, shake the coins up in your hand and then drop them on a flat surface in order to interpret them. Okay? So, 2 heads and 1 tail. This is what I call a soft yes. Okay? Juju calls 2 heads and 1 tail. Y'all can't see that. But 2 heads and 1 tail is a soft yes, sometimes maybe. 3 heads. 3 heads is hell yes, baby. Okay? 2 tails and 1 head is a soft no, or perhaps another day of time. 3 tails is child no. Okay, that's a hard no. That's a yeah, that's that. That's that no. Now that you understand your meaning, you will ask your yes or no question clearly. This is not an intricate form of divining, so questions should be easy. Some acceptable ways to ask these questions may be: is it in my best interest financially to accept this new job as? Is it physically safe for me to attend this party tonight across town? Would it be in my best interest to put my house up for sale in September? Ancestors, would you like an additional offering that I haven't given? If so, you can list out items and get confirmation. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Again, this is a very basic form of divination. This method is for simple yes or no questions that relate to you specifically. Please avoid using this to try and pry into the lives of other people without their consent. Do not try to overinterpret the messaging. Be clear and concise with your queries and allow the spirits to state their claims. As one of my elders once told me, divination is always right. However, our interpretation can be wrong. If you're a beginner diviner, keep it simple. Bad question. Here are some examples of questions that won't produce the results you're seeking in divination. Bad questions are too complex. Bad questions are too complicated. Keep it simple.
Questions like this will give you convoluted or unclear answers. Should I break up with my boyfriend and choose this next person so that I don't have to have this anxiety anymore? It's a hard question I get asked a lot. A better question would be, is this romantic relationship with my boyfriend negatively impacting my mental health? Is breaking up with this person more aligned with my mental self? Is this other individual I'm interested in actually a better romantic fit for me? What up, Peanut? Bad questions are the ones you already know the answer to. I cannot stress this one enough. Why would anyone bother answering a question like, are they cheating on me? If you already caught them. A better question would be, don't ask, because you know damn well. You gotta hear that. A better question would be, don't ask because you know damn well. Just period, don't ask. Like, if you know that person is cheating on you, just leave. Okay? And I know it sounds easier than it is, but love yourself as much as you love that person. Okay? It's not that. Love yourself more than you love being with that person. Bad questions are unclear or too general. Should I move to Arizona? A better question would be, do my ancestors support me moving to Arizona in the spring? Where we at? Bad questions are too centered on others. Did Danielle get her boobs done? Does Julius like me? Better questions would be, now does this have anything to do with me? Is a relationship with Julius one that my ancestors support? Is our relationship more favorable as platonic, romantic? Okay, question mark. It's kind of hard to read. I'm trying to read like like how I'm reading. I don't know. I'm enjoying reading to y'all. Thank you for pulling up. Going to see the diviner is like going. Oh, I already wrote that. So that was the end of that coin divination activity. Very easy. 3 heads, yes. 2 heads, 1 tail. A soft yes. Go with precaution. Do protection work, so on and so forth. A soft no. Okay, it's 2 tails in 1 head. That's a soft no. And then like not right now, or you know what I'm saying, another day of fine. And then the 3 tails, child, so that that's that kind of no. And all 3 are tails. Okay, all right, that is so that's such a good divide. Have fun with that. All right, so getting back to the real sacrifice. In many ATRs and ADRs, sacrifice is used as a ritualized way to give offering to a particular deity or spirit. Sacrifices can be in the form of animal sacrifice, or of time, food or drink, or through prayer or other means. Sacrifice could be performed as a thank you to an ancestor for all the amazing blessings they have bestowed on our lives, or it could be a way to petition and appease spirits so that they continue to favor us. Taught. One thing I have learned, and this goes back to what I said at the top of this live. English is a spell. And so we have got to understand that just because it means how like the way that we look at things from a English standpoint is not how our ancestors necessarily think of it. Because as soon as anybody say sacrificial or sacrifice, you thinking you know what I'm saying, like, oh God, what I gotta give up, what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying, that kind of energy. But the very African way of looking at it is this honors my ancestors, this honors myself by sacrificing a friendship, or you know what I'm saying. I've had to sacrifice many friendships. However, if I did not sacrifice those friendships, I would not grow. You know what I'm saying? So Like, yeah, start looking at sacrifices and burdens, or you know what I'm saying? Because again, people want to spell, and they want you to feel like that when really you should feel honored. You know what I'm saying? That your ancestors are guiding you to make these sacrifices to do these things. Okay, all right. Sacrifice happens because we are spending our time or resources in order to appease the spirits, which in turn brings harmony to our lives. Sacrifices are a major part of many ATRs and ADRs and should be seen not as a way to bribe spirits, but as a way to acknowledge them for their sacrifices, the ones that our ancestors have made and continuously make to improve our lives. For example, I am a very busy person who always has many things that I could be working on at any given time. However, if my grandmother calls me and says that she needs some milk or a ride, it is nothing to sacrifice my time in order to take care of her. Her having milk or getting a ride to the store is not a matter of life or death, but it does make her happy and shows her that she can rely on me in my care. It may interfere with something that I had planned, but my grandmother has sacrificed a ton for me and my family. So sacrificing an hour or two out of my day is an effort to acknowledge that we both sacrifice for each other in our relationship. Sacrifices should be understood not as a burden, although it can feel like that. Oh, I feel that. But instead as action that work toward bringing harmony into one's life and even those around. The act of giving and sharing with our ancestors is not separate from the other duties that we complete during the day. Although sacrifice can feel like just another thing on our plates to get done, it must be viewed as the force that facilitates all those other things. Sacrifice is a central part of our abundance, and it is the foundation on which many ancestral traditions rely. Hey, Boo, how are you? Okay. Offering. Offerings go hand in hand with sacrifice. They are the time, energy, foods, and more that we are sacrificing to our ancestors or spirits. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, an offer is an expression of readiness to do or give something desired. An offering is described as a thing offered, especially as a gift or contribution. Basically, if we take a look at the definition of offer, we can understand it as our expression to do or give to our spirit. It is our acknowledgement that we desire to share with the spirits who take care of us in order to maintain and restore harmony. Offerings are a great way to appease the spirits in order to reach and maintain certain spiritual, emotional, or material goals. Offerings can be used as a simple way to show gratitude or to reach a specific goal or as a response to the request of your ancestors for their own benefit. For example, I may want to secure an opportunity for a new job. I have an interview coming up and I want to be sure that I have a great interview and that I'm offered the position. In order to do this, I would like to give an offering to my honorable ancestors so that they can help me secure the position. So I have a few options. I may, one, seek out a spiritual practitioner who will communicate with my ancestors on my behalf to assess if I if I'm sorry, to assess if I need an offering. Two, ask my ancestors myself what offerings, if any, I need to give them in order to get this job. Or three, trust my intuition and give my spirit some general offerings in order to ensure the job is mine. You know what a really good general offering to the ancestors is that you can do like every day or every other day? Coffee, black coffee. And you write your thanks and your prayers and put it under that coffee and watch it move. Okay? Black coffee. On your ancestor altar. You even have an ancestor also to do that together, okay? Thank you. We'll be at 45 minutes. Oh my good. Yeah, you get in there. What was it? Offerings may be given at altars, bodies of water, trees, and other natural sources, depending on the spirits you are trying to reach. Offerings to nature can be extremely powerful and can help maintain harmony between humans and nature. Just remember that these offerings should be biodegradable. Okay, say it again. Make sure your offerings are biodegradable. Please not in your paper, plastic, something like that. As putting out plastics and other toxic materials will be harmful to the land, regardless of the potency of the offering and counteract their benefits. Because if you poison the land, then the work you put in is for naught, for nothing. Okay? If I were trying to secure a job but had if I were trying to secure a job and had somewhat limited resources, I would offer my ancestors fresh water to keep calm during my interview, something sweet to sweeten my chances of being hired, and some chicken because my ancestors like chicken and I want them to have what they like. So I can have what I like. In this case, the job. Don't forget to offer plenty of prayer too. As you can probably tell, ancestral relationships are quite transactional. It can be difficult to understand why your ancestors need something from you in order to address an issue that you may be having. But that's just how it is. Our existence is about exchange. And that's why in Orisha tradition, practitioners refer to earth as the marketplace. Our ancestors do care for us, but we should not see them or any other spirit as a source from which we can take without giving them anything. No good relationship should be one-sided anyway. Our ancestors have needs too, and the relationship we build with them is not solely about them addressing our human needs. Sure, your Nana may love you, but she still needs a lottery ticket to make your horrible box farming food. Oh, did I have any camera? I know I have any camera. I ain't never had nobody ask for lottery ticket. Maybe they did, and instead of me buying scratch off, no, I just scratched off myself. Oh, see, but then I told y'all I've been in this practice for a while, but the dots are still connecting. Okay, and I'm not a beginner. I still be not knowing things. You see how this healing and this spiritual journey, we always evolving, always learning something. Okay, some basic offerings could be. I don't know why I'm pulling this up, but I ain't going there. Sorry. Some basic offerings could be prayer, water, fruits, cooked foods, culturally specific foods, e.g., if you are Jamaican, your ancestors may enjoy curry chicken, liquor, tobacco, cigars, or cigarettes if they were smokers, honey to sweeten the situation, candies, cakes, and other sweets, coffee, candles, incense, a spray of cologne or perfume, money, actual money. We're talking bills and coins, okay? To increase your own money or pay spiritual debt. A lot of people, um, you putting money on their altar and once it gets to a certain amount, they may go and buy something for the ancestors, like a cake, like flowers, and or go give somebody home, pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You're putting it back out there. You know what I'm saying? You're showing gratitude by blessing someone because the ancestors have blessed you. And see how that comes back. Okay? Can you think of some other offerings that your ancestors might enjoy? If you knew some of your ancestors, think about what foods they might have enjoyed or activities they may have engaged in while living, and devise ways to incorporate that into an offering. If you did not know your ancestors, ask yourself what general offerings will suffice based on this rule. Personally, I do not offer my ancestors full plates of food daily. On a normal day, their typical offerings will consist of a lit candle, incense that they enjoy, and fresh water. Do not stress about needing to offer every little thing they may have liked. This should be somewhat low stakes unless otherwise noted. Okay? Keep it simple, silly. Okay, kids. Keep it simple, siblings. I mean, siblings. Okay, y'all all my brothers, sisters, and non-gender conforming people. But anyway, keep it simple, okay? All you got is the breath, the words of your mouth, meditations of your heart. Shout out to Deacon Member, peace be upon you, who taught me in Sunday school at Union Baptist Church. Okay, shout out to them. But Deacon Member taught us a prayer before we go, and it's may the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be acceptable in my sight. At the end, they say, "Oh Lord, my strength, my redeemer, amen." However, I don't say, "Oh Lord," I say, "Thank you, ancestors, my deliverers," and so on. You know what I'm saying? I actually think, actually name our ancestors sometimes. But it just depends. You see, a simple prayer to thank them, okay? I mean, that's a simple way to thank them, to ask, to offer. There we go. To offer them prayer. Anyway, we can talk about the brain and the mouth. They're not, I mean, yeah. All right. Where we at? The most important aspect of giving is that you are giving from the heart with reverence and love. Right? Across many, initiation. Across many Africana cosmology, initiation is a very important aspect of intentionally moving forward within your spiritual and or communal journey or practice. Initiation is often a collection of rituals and rites that are performed with the support of other priests, elders, family, or community members that advances an individual to the next level of their spiritual or life journey. Through initiation, you are strengthening your connection to spirit, the divine, your ancestors, and your own destiny. It is an extremely serious method that can take days, weeks, and even years. It represents a lifelong commitment to deeper learning and understanding. If you have ever heard someone who has referred to themselves as a priest or priestess, then they have hopefully child who hopefully now y'all know my Bible in the DM. No priests, no priestesses. If anyone, if any spiritual person, priest, practitioner, anybody who's trying to offer you a reading, or and they say, "Oh, your ancestors told me this," it's a lie, y'all. The ancestors not gonna go to nobody else. God's not gonna talk to nobody else. God and your ancestors gonna talk immediately to you. Okay. All right. So yeah, keep my ears. Y'all hold on. I'm getting that. That is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I thought it was important. Just asking you about anyway. Okay. So if you have ever heard someone who has referred to themselves as a priest or priestess, then they have hopefully child undergone proper protocol and an initiative and an initiatory process that helps them elevate in their spiritual journey and connect more deeply to their destiny and certain spirit. Some priests are initiated to help support community members, offer reading, and counsel others as God can. While some people initiate into priesthood because it was needed for their health, for protection, or to help their family. Not every priest is counseling or teaching others, and although initiation is very serious, often with standard protocol, it is a unique experience for every person. Oh, although we often imagine initiations as priests bringing us closer to a specific deity, initiations can happen within families and through natural life events. For example, from a practical Hoodoo perspective, an initiatory process could be involved when a person is finally able to go out with their family members to hunt. As a child, they may have had to stay in the house when their uncles went hunting for food for their nightly meal. Yes, people still hunt for their food. Then, when they were a young teenager, they were allowed to watch the uncles shoot game and assist in dragging the game back to the house to be cooked. Next, when they reached the age of 18, the uncles may have allowed this person to use a gun for the first time to try their hand at shooting an animal. It would be a big deal if this person was successful. When this person first successfully shoots and kills an animal, the family celebrates, probably reminiscing about this person's childhood when they were afraid of the animal. Eventually, this person may be able to go hunting alone, although this progression of events may be seen as a normal life occurrence. The process of working toward a goal, in this case, being initiated into the group of family hunters, is one that started as a child. The ritual was finally being able to catch animals on their own after many years of learning or studying guides. Questions to consider. Questions to consider. Do you consider any of your life experiences to be initiations, and if so, how? Yes, having my first child. That was initiation into motherhood. Okay? Because how else are you supposed to get in there? Or, I don't know. When I got baptized, that was initiation. Okay? Like, oh, first time I got to go out with my big cousin. I enjoyed that. The first time I was put in charge of wrestling. Okay, that just happened last year. Well, I made it to my next room, but people they asked me because they said that like since I was from Georgia. I like how y'all just do the song and shit. But I mean, I can't cook this still. I just do the song and shit. Everybody from Georgia. Can I see my booty? Sorry. Trying to hide. Who supported you through this process? When we talk about motherhood, my mother supported me through the beginning years of motherhood up until her transition in 2017. And I often think back and be like, really, my mama raised my daughter because I was still out here being childish. Okay, and I can admit that. That you see that because a lot of y'all can't admit that, but I can. You know what I'm saying? So I've had several initiations into motherhood. One when my daughter was born, the second one when my mom transitioned, and it was now, and I was a single parent. So I wasn't a single parent when my mom was here. She was helping. But once my mom transitioned and I became a single parent, oh my God. So after my mom's transition, that second initiation into parenthood, motherhood was like just going into the wolves. And the only people that supported me, shout out to them. I'm still good friends and really close to them. So I appreciate that. What were you initiated to? I told you. Okay. But yeah, I ain't never had no initiation to, you know what I'm saying, no organization and stuff like that. But maybe one day, I'm like, who knows? All right. So I'm gonna stop it here. We got like 7 more pages, but I'm looking at the time I'm looking at the messages that just sent to me, and so now, um, but here, plus, I don't never like for my lives to be more than an hour. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like, like I'm like a piano or something. I got guests on and you really into it. But yeah, so we've been here for an hour. We are majority way through chapter 8. The next section is will be about prayer. And she even gives a activity of how to pray. So we'll be talking about prayer, ritual, and the elders and embracing the old ways, which is really and the magical storytelling. Those are the last few sections of this chapter. And that's really beautiful because I literally just this past week put a poll or a question up and I was just asking people like, how did y'all find your elders? Like all my elders have been in these spaces, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for elders in physical people I can go talk to. Not necessarily like joining the Elay or in spiritual houses, but you know, just somebody that know more than I do. You know what I'm saying? That I can consider an elder. So this is going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Because I told y'all, I'm running right along with y'all. I love you. Shout out to Juju Bae. I love you, girl, and I can't wait to see her. She will be in Decatur where it's motherfucking greater. October 25th. Making sure I'm available for that day. It's my hometown homecoming, and typically it would be really big, but they ain't really been doing what they normally do. So I'm gonna be more than happy. You hear me? To be in Decatur and meet Juju Bae and have her sign my book. Yay! Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. The books are open. If you like to tap in with your auto movement or ancestors and spirit guide. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm open. The books are open. Y'all know that if the thing that you're going through requires, you know what I'm saying, like after you have divine and spirit be like, okay, tell them to do this and the third, then I will give you what they call description. You know what I'm saying? Things that you need to do to become that, the spiritual things that you are going through. If it's something that you can't do, then yeah, I ain't gonna say that you can't do because you do all things. However, if you know what I'm saying, if it's not within your scope of spiritual practices right now, and you're like, nah, girl, I need you to do that. I also do those things too. Now, all those work you start at a flat rate. Okay, they start at a flat rate, and it just depends on how much you spiritually like. Now, I'm gonna talk some more. And I listen to it now. I used to let y'all think when you like free shit. I don't do that no more. Okay, don't do that no more. We talking about reciprocity. Anyway, so yeah, get at me for your spiritual need. And I tell you all the time, if I can't help you, I'm going to see you to the right people. Because I know. I love that. Because I have good community on my feet. All right, y'all. I'm gone. This is enough blabbering. I'll catch y'all in later. I'm going home. My business for today. Happy Mercury Day. We're back in Friday. This day. Okay? I have to skip that. Okay, this is it. I need my mornings to myself sometimes. Okay, so yeah, so I will, but that's not bad. It was something I wanted to do. But anyway, if I do it, I will post wherever it is you see, whether it be Facebook, on at Chain, or on my business page, Mermaid Reflections, or on the YouTube page. I'm sorry, my business page is Mermaid Art LLC, or you can YouTube. Million Reflections. Okay, and there's also a Facebook group called Million Reflections, where I will be utilizing this. I haven't really used I have like 10 years. There's a lot of books in there, a lot of digital books. I'll have you won't find this. Okay, there's a lot of